We seem wonky. Hi, everyone. How's it going? What's happened to the camera? It's because you're ARH. That seems wobbly, doesn't it? Apologies for the wobbly cam, everyone. Does it look alright? Does it look straight? Maybe it's just me. Hi, everyone. Can you see us? Can you hear us? Is everything going okay? You probably dropped out now because you're on your stream. The stream was supposed to be at 6, but we found out very, very late. Found out like less than 2 hours ago that we need to go and do a family thing at 6. So we've bumped, and I've just literally about 2 minutes ago, audio and video out of sync. Know if it's just you, if it's just you, Steve, because I can reload it if it's stuttering and stuff. Hi, Joss. Does it look in sync from you? Hi, James. Oh, watching from your hotel room. Have you been at the expo? A coincidental journey. It's fine here, but it just must have been you. Well, that's fine. It just means that the camera looks a little bit weird to me. But again, maybe that's just me. I keep forgetting to do like a nice proper post, or I need to do a video or something about it. I've mentioned it in other streams, but if you go on sirmeeple.com, if you fancy it, there is like a proper actual Slicker Drip shirt now available and in production. We've had some homebrew ones in the past that I've still got actually. You've got the...
And a cowboy one.
Have you got a cowboy vest?
Yeah.
We were going to make things as part of... I don't think they were part of the Kickstarter, but yeah, it's hard to organise all of that, and it was hardest like trying to organise someone reliable to make them for you. Like the companies that we tried were a little bit... Which were they? The ones that we've got. Like they're great, but to be able to, like, if someone had paid money for them, they'd have been a bit funny. The bitrate. Is it okay now? YouTube things again. Are we back okay? I'm going to shoot. Is it still? Because as far as our program's going. Hello? Are we back? Hopefully that's a bit smoother. The current resolution is 1080, which is not optimal. It's pretty optimal. It depends how you're watching it. Hi everyone, are we back? Are we still there? Are we still appeared on the same page? Showing that there's people there, so hopefully there's a little bit of a delay from the chat. Great. Hopefully it's not going to do that. It's doing it again. Is it still skipping? I've just seen it's doing it on our program. It's absolutely fine and toasty. On the YouTube, assume that it's not until you tell me otherwise.
No.
No, still skipping. Hello? Is that any better? We're just on the YouTubes, which I don't think is going to make too much difference. Sorry if you're watching on Twitch, but you won't see that. You won't see me apologising, and I'm sorry about that as well. It's Marty's fault. He's not in here. He's away chewing the wires or something. I don't know how that would affect our wireless, but it has. Hi, Joel. Do we seem back here now? Streaming's not been great, internet-wise, lately. Well, I think I can see us moving around. No skipping so far. Great. Let's hope it stays like that. I don't know. Maybe it's Streamlabs or something, or maybe it's YouTube. It was complaining about 1080 for some reason. Yeah, he's away. We can't tell what he's doing, so we can only assume the worst. Because it's not even. Maybe it's even too hot in here for him to ruin our internet. So we're gonna assume that this is all plain sailing now. I can't see any freezing or anything in there. Yeah, let's just forge ahead with YouTube only, which is where it's really at, isn't it? Marty is. No, actually, is he on the landing, Rach? Rach will have a little scout for Marty because he should make an appearance if we can find him easily, because there hasn't been a Marty cam for ages, has there? Is it all okay now? So, what will we say? James, you've been to the expo today, or you're about to be at the expo? What were you saying? And we were talking about shirts. Yes, I don't know if all that was skipping. There's an amazing shirt that's available on sirmeeple.com. If you fancy a shirt and you'd like to get hold of one that's got some lovely design on it, as well as Rachel's amazing Space Marty drawing. Rach draws all of the Martys. Then yeah, that's where you can get hold of one. I've got a special one. Well, special being I got sent one. But there he is. There's Reluctant Marty. Well, he might stay in here if you bring my chair out. Marty likes sitting in my chair. He likes sitting anywhere to prevent you from sitting anywhere. Let's see if he'll stay at the table. I don't think he will. If it's anything like when he jumps on the tables during the playthroughs, he'll find a way to just show you his bum for ages and just get in the way. There you go. Luckily, the camera's a little bit higher than the terrible angle. Yeah, just wants a bit of fuss. Now that he's been dragged in here every now and then. There you go. That's exactly what Marty would do. I'm surprised that he's sat down and gotten out of the way. Actually, I would assume he would just stay there for the rest of the stream. There you go, little flick. Oh, now he's in the way of the chat, so I can't see that. So you're going to the expo tomorrow. All right, yeah. Our friend's gone today. He hasn't really. He's talks about Geek and Son and stuff, but I don't know if he's seen anything else that he was excited about. I said it was quite quiet. Dual streaming, gaming rules. Yeah, we were saying, I think when it was all skipping, yeah, this was supposed to be at 6 o'clock, but circumstances, we need to go somewhere at 6 o'clock now and be supportive. So unfortunately, we've overlapped instead. But we're gonna do another one in August. Probably won't wait until the very end of August, but we'll try and do one a bit later as well. Try and do one at about 6 or something, so that time zones and stuff can be there. But yeah, Paul's streaming a game, isn't he? I can't remember which one. I've been in a bit of a flap because, as well, I just finished filming Shipyard. Just literally finished it about 2 minutes before the stream started. So a bit of panic getting it all together. Hi, Gary. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. There's another one on the way. But I don't think there are games announced. Like, there's never really many games announced at the expo anyway, is there? Like, it's growing as, like, leaving out the digital years and stuff. Like, up to 2019, there's a handful of, like, brand new releases at the expo. It's mainly from, like, English publishers and stuff. But I don't think there is another one. I don't think there's a specific one being released here that I've heard of anyway. But I haven't been, because we kind of had decided we weren't gonna go anyway. I think And then when all of the funny business started about the rules changing, I know they changed back, but yeah, we decided after then hadn't really taken as much notice of what was going to be there. But if you know of anything, if you've been to the expo and stuff and seen some cool stuff, because companies are still there and doing great jobs demoing and stuff, so let us know if you see some cool stuff. Marty's gone now. Oh, he is lying in the doorway to kind of stop us leaving as well. But yeah, the best board game in cat opponents. Absolutely. He's always the centre of attention. Oh, Mark and Luke are there. What's the oldest game in your collection that you haven't played? I don't know if there's as many now, because we did sell some on. I did have Helvetia because I was really keen on that, and Rach never wanted to play that. It might be. I wonder if it's 20th century. We've had that for ages. There's probably something else if I went and dug around, but maybe not, because there's some that at a certain point, especially when we were moving, they're like, "Oh, are we ever going to play this?" and got rid of a few things like that. But I think it might be 20th century that I think the door is just obscuring, which I bought. I think I don't think I even bought it. I got it in a maths trade. It's always very cheap to find. It's a Vladimir Suchy game, so designer of Shipyard and Underwater Cities and Praga Caput Regni and stuff more recently. But it needs 3 to 5 players. I think we've since found out there's a variant, so we could have been playing it. But yeah, it's sat there because we needed more players, or it wasn't ideal with 2. So I would like to give that a go at some point. To be fair, it doesn't look exciting from the box, like to entice people to play. Neither does Shipyard though. Shipyard's amazing. So yeah, I understand why when I take it to game night, it doesn't look the most exciting game, but it could be amazing. It's from an amazing designer, isn't it, Rach? Rach isn't very keen on Shipyard. There you go. Genway agrees. Shipyard, a great game. Gen Con being later, games announcement being delayed till then as well. Maybe because they tend to announce them quite close to Gen Con, don't they? But it's kind of concerning all around, isn't it? With the shipping shortage, but the shipping prices skyrocketing as well. Like anyone who produces in China, which is almost everyone, is having a really, really tough time, to the point where loads of these releases that are planned for the end of the year, or maybe things that would have been announced by now, are maybe more in question. And yeah, I don't think, probably because of COVID and all of that stuff anyway, there probably wouldn't have been as many games released at the end of this year. But with all that shipping stuff, yeah, it's all very worrying when you see all of that stuff laid out. But hopefully there'll still be some great things, whatever they can manage to make. But I know that Joey says that Suchy does have a new game coming out. It's got a co-designer as well, I think. I can't remember anything about it, unfortunately. I hope, though, that I believe that like Czech games, I don't know if they have them made in the same place, but I believe they are made in the Czech Republic, right? I think so. I'm questioning now. CGEs are definitely made there because they have like this crazy last minute process. Like, it seems crazy, it works for them, but they have their games made like at the very last minute before Essen. Like, the rules are finalized like the week before or something like that, and their games are just produced just in time for it. It's amazing that they can pull it off. But I think that Delicious Games are produced in Prague as well, so maybe they won't be like subject to that. I'm just hoping that that game comes out as scheduled, because Vladimir's games are amazing. They're usually the best game of the year that they come out, for me anyway. You enjoyed Prague, though, didn't you, last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark said the stalls are quiet. Yeah, that's kind of what our friend said, that it's just kind of quiet there. But it is Friday as well. Someone's selling Palaces of Carrara, rare Z-Man English copy. Oh, Game Brew is reprinting it. Oh, that's really good. It's like a Kickstarter that's coming up. But our Palaces of Carrara is German, just because at the time it's been out of print in English for ages and ages and ages. I don't think though that there's too much. It's been a while since we played Palaces of Carrara actually, but I don't think there's too much other than the rules that is language dependent. But if it's getting reprinted anyway, great. They'll do a cool version of it, I hope. Slicker Drips comes from song. It's a White Stripes song. It doesn't particularly mean anything or mean anything relating to the channel or anything like that. It's a song I quite liked, and I like the name of it. I like saying the name of it. So it was just my username on things, and then all of this ended up happening out of the blue. So it is now the name of a channel. Suchi, yes, I skipped ahead, didn't I? Oh, you got Jaws of the Lion from Amazon this weekend. Yeah, Jaws of the, like, as much as, you know, Gloomhaven is my favorite and absolutely love the big box and, you know, all of the extra characters and retiring and the secrets and all of that that stuff that isn't in Jaws of the Lion because it's a more introductory thing. I think the story and just the fact that you're playing on the book rather than setting up maps and stuff, that was amazing. Like, as soon as we started playing that, we played all through Jaws of the Lion, didn't we? And I was the Hatchet. Absolutely love the Hatchet. One of my favourites that I've been. Not my favourites are still a couple of the ones that I played in the original box. I won't do any spoilers as to who they were, but some amazing things to find in base Gloomhaven. But yeah, Jaws of the Lion, absolutely fantastic. It's still give the edge to Gloomhaven for some of those like legacy things that it's got going. And I understand why Jaws of the Lion doesn't have them, but it's so good. And then Frosthaven's like not a million miles away, is it?
I don't know.
And it's like it's way bigger than Gloomhaven. It's got way more stuff in it than Gloomhaven had.
And it's got the best thing ever in it, which is our
Yeah,
scenario.
it's got like it's got 2 scenarios designed by us. And many other people, but most importantly, special things that we made. We are like credited designers in a Gloomhaven game, which is still crazy to think about. Will I be doing an anticipated upcoming games? What for? For like Gen Con or something, or Essen or something like that. I might do for Essen. I always have for Essen. It's a bit weird now because it's been, I obviously didn't do one last year because it was just a digital convention, wasn't it? But yeah, it's weird being out of the tradition, out of the routine of doing those. But yeah, I'd probably do one for Essen. I don't think that I will be at Essen because, yeah, still uncertainties about traveling places, but as well, it costs a fortune and staying there as well. I think especially this year, yeah, it would just be unaffordable. I think, or as much as I would like to go there, and as important as it would be to get some amazing games to be able to film them ASAP, I don't think it's going to happen. We'll see though. It's still a ways off, isn't it? But I do know that there are some exciting things on the way that will be ready in time for Essen. But yeah, I think I'll probably do an anticipated games thing around some point in October. For their own small publisher first, and then Rio Grande pick up for a wider release. Oh yeah, Delicious Games. They just make their own for like Europe, right? And then Rio Grande do them for American release. And it's like at this point, I think CGE released their own everywhere because all of CGE's games used to have Rio Grande on, but haven't for a while now. Are the book maps still in development for Frosthaven? I think they are. Yeah, I don't think they're I don't think they were ever said to be like the main thing or like a replacement for Frosthaven. I don't think, not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure that Isaac said in one of his updates, you know, given the reaction to these things and how many people have said that they would like them for Frosthaven and Gloomhaven, you know, I'll look into it now. And like, because they're much bigger things to do one for like Gloomhaven or a much bigger Frosthaven. It's a bigger deal, isn't it? It's a bigger kind of production commitment. So I think it's one of those things that it will happen, but it's just a case of when. Or am I backing anything on Kickstarter at the moment? Do you mean like current campaigns or things that I'm waiting for? I think so, yeah. It's an amazing feature in Jaws of the Lion, the campaign book. It's one of my favourite things about it. Or I could do it on my phone, couldn't I? So I don't have to mess about on my computer. But hi everyone, if you joined us later, now that we're actually up and running, if you've got any questions or anything you would like to know, we're here to have a nice chat, a nice Expo-less chat. Only Expo-less because we're not there. We don't mind chatting about it. It's just that a lot of what we would say is hypothetical because we're in bed. But what am I excited to come up? I didn't technically back this because I couldn't afford back then, but the thing that I'm most excited about that's kind of most imminent is Seize the Bean, which is, it was a fantastic game. Really loved the prototype. I did a video for that like 3.5 years ago. I think it's about 3.5 years ago. And it's a fantastic kind of twist on a deck builder where the deck is your queue of customers and you take actions to serve them and beef up those actions so you get better and better. You're trying to like optimize your cafe to serve your customers most effectively. Worked absolutely beautifully. Obviously had to send the prototype on to someone pretty sharpish after that, so we haven't played it for 3.5 years. After loads of road bumps and learning curves and stuff for Quality Beast, it's done. And not only done, made. It's in crates. It's arriving in people's houses. I think UK is still on the way, or maybe it's started delivering by now. But yeah, Seize the Bean is the thing I am most excited about arriving because yeah, it was fantastic when we played it, and compared to how much stuff got added to it through that campaign, part of the reason why there's so many delays, we'll do these amazing things, we'll translate it to all these languages, we'll add all of these extra expansions, and then when it comes to actually do all of that, it compounds and takes longer. But it looks like, just seeing from previews and stuff, just seeing them show off the things, not actually having seen one yet in person, just seeing the videos and stuff, it looks like they made exactly what they wanted to make, which would be fantastic. I think they are quite rightly sending everyone's copies out first, everyone that backed, and then afterwards, like press and people that did the videos for the Kickstarter and stuff will get a copy. So I believe we have a copy on the way. Well, I'd say believe. I've been told that. So yes, that is happening. But that's going to be great. I'm really excited about that. I don't think anything that I have backed. How can I see things that I've backed? Why is the app not changing? I don't know if anything that I've backed is kind of currently like getting ready to arrive, because Grand Austria came. I didn't really back that. There's some things that I've just backed thinking, like Castles of Mad King Ludwig Deluxe. Maybe I'll get on the Pledge Manager for that, but I can't afford, especially for a game that we've already got. See, like Keeper at Sea, expansion to Keeper. I'm excited to play that, see what they've changed on that. And it's got like a whole extra solo mode on there as well. Paperback Adventures, I'm pretty keen on. I really enjoyed Paperback. Rach isn't too keen on just word games in general, are you?
No.
So a deck building word game didn't work that well. But I really liked it. And this is like a physical card game, like roguelike game, like Slay the Spire kind of esque. I doubt that's close, but seems really, really cool. They're the things that I'm kind of waiting for the most. Oh, Thunderstone Quest, we've got like a whole host of Thunderstone Quest that's about to... I don't think it's arriving very, very soon, but yeah, there's already a ton of Thunderstone Quest we haven't gotten around to yet, and we're getting probably that much again. Frosthaven we talked about. Oh, and Role Player Adventures is soon, I think. It's not too far away, is it?
I don't know.
It got delayed a little bit, but I feel like it's August, September. Role Player Adventures is coming out. And yeah, Role Player is amazing. Choose Your Own Adventures are amazing. I've got high, high hopes for Role Player Adventures. Is Tinner's Trail being fulfilled for you guys soon? I think it is. Yeah, it's meant to be like early August, isn't it? I've got Tinner's Trail. I've got a advance copy because I am in the process of making right now how to play videos for Tinner's Trail and Paper Dungeons, which I believe are going to be arriving at the same time if you backed that campaign. Yeah, how's it going? Oh, what happened there? Oh, the program just flashed and the timer reset, but I think we're still here. Hi, Monica. Rach, what are some of your favourite games at the moment? Go on, Rach.
I don't know. I wouldn't really say I've got favourite games at the minute.
You don't know?
Some games I've enjoyed.
Yeah, what are
like
some games you've enjoyed?
Hadrian's Wall.
Hadrian's Wall?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Grand Austria Hotel.
Yeah?
That's probably... I don't know.
You don't like being put on the spot for
No,
things, do you?
no. I need to have had time, like, jot a little list down.
What about Awkward Guests?
Yeah, I do like that. It's a good game.
Yeah. It's not brand new, I suppose.
And
but
everybody always just
we've-
picks me at the post.
we've just found it. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh,
Well, I feel like I'm we've only played 2 multiplayer games of Awkward Guests, but yeah, I felt like I was close, and then it turned out that I wasn't both times.
both times I've played it, I've known the answer at the same time as the winner, but they've guessed before me because of turn order.
Yeah. That's some really good deduction. If you're into your deduction games, it's great. Have we played Thunder and Lightning? No, I don't think so. Let's have a look. Thunder and Lightning. Why is this buzzing so much? I don't know what's going on with there. Thunder and Lightning. No.
Very, very
Oh,
frightening.
like a two-player only game. Have we played Hera and Zeus? No, I don't think so. It re-implements that.
You're Thor and Loki, and you're
Oh, like a
fighting your
bluffing
way through
game.
an army.
No. I don't think we've played that. I don't remember skipping it even. Like 2016, I probably wasn't like up on everything that was coming out either. No, I haven't. I have not played Thunder and Lightning or the game it was based on, so I can't really recommend anything similar to it. Sorry. What's our record of different games played in a month? And for most plays in a month, I think we would have to look back at the stats for that, because we definitely don't get a chance to play as many things now. But probably around
Yeah, but we
20.
play
Definitely not. We used to play.
3-ish games on a Saturday and
Yeah, but we used to
2 on a Sunday.
we used to play. We sometimes don't play on Sundays though at all. We used to kind of play like all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and we used to go to there used to be the games club, didn't there, as well? But like, your available time changes as well. Can I get Board Game Stats to tell me when a time was? Insights. What was I going to say? Oh yes, I'm not my phone. Thank you, Gary, for signing up to be a patron. Thank you so much. I'll send you a message later on, but I just noticed it on my phone when I opened it. Really appreciate that. It helps keep everything going. And I forget to say all of the time, if anyone else would like to help out, it's patreon.com/slickerdrips. It is the only reason I'm able to make all of this stuff. And if you're watching back later, like the video and subscribe to the channel and stuff, if you would like to. But let's have a look at, when did I start like Board Game Stats? Is there like can it show me a chart for when we played loads? And there would be times when I'd be playing like loads of solo games and stuff, like that's probably ages ago now, like Feast for Odin kind of time, isn't it? We were playing like 50 games a month? How's that possible?
But are they different games?
Yeah,
or
that's like
some same
50 different
games?
games. But that would be as well. Say we were going to like this game group for our local store at the time. You would maybe play a couple of filler games while everyone was arriving and then deciding what to do. And then you would play one game usually, maybe 2 games even, in the night. And then you would maybe all get together at the end and play another game or 2. So that probably like boosted the number of different games that you played as well. I can't get it to tell me kind of all of the different games that we played. I'm sure that there is a way if I was more used to using BG Stats. But yeah, that's way back in 2016 now. But that's probably when. Is that when the group finished and when the shop shut? That seems surprisingly long ago now, although it has been ages ago. But yeah, we were at a point of playing, and there was a good chunk of time from when we started getting really into board games to probably around the time I was starting to get stuff sent for the channel that I was buying far too many games and only wanting to play like, I've bought all of these games this week, we need to play all of this stuff. And I'm not as bad for that stuff anymore. Still games everywhere, but I'm not quite as bad. Your Kickstarter list is looking scary. Mine's not as bad as I thought. I thought there were loads more arriving than that, but I've been a little bit more restrained than I thought that I had been. Really curious with Golem. That sounds like something familiar that I've forgotten about. Golem 2021. Oh yeah, the new Cranio creations from the team behind Lorenzo, right? And many games since. Yeah, I'm interested in anything that any of them put out. So the three of them working together again. Totally on board for that. Why is this jumping around? I would hope that it come out in Essen. Like I don't know too much about, like, I assume that most companies get their stuff made in China just because it's the done thing, you know. Economically, that's how any of this stuff is affordable. But some might not, and they've got a much better chance of being able to get their games out in distribution, at least kind of in Europe, or companies that have their games made in America probably got a better chance of getting their stuff out on time in America. You're tempted to get to the checkpoint at the moment. What's that?
You have to say it like you say get to the chopper.
I need to get a little browser window set up so you can see me opening this. Oh, a solo.
I told you,
it
get to the chopper.
Oh, like a solo push your luck survival game. Oh, that looks cool.
Get to the checkpoint.
I'm gonna click remind me and have a look at that later. Thanks, James. Sounds cool.
How surprised are you that I knew that reference and you didn't know that reference?
That
you
reference?
didn't know that.
Everyone knows Get to the Chopper. Heatwave. Can't wait for Tinner's Trail, Darwin's Journey, Carnegie. Oh yeah, Carnegie. Stroganoff and Hippocrates. Socrates.
I don't know.
Bill and Ted would say Socrates. Rach, what are your favourite computer games? I don't know that you've played that many kind of different computer games.
Not new
lately.
ones. Samurai Warriors 5.
Yeah. If you count all of the kind of Warriors games as different games, then there is
Final Fantasy 14
there is a new one.
for a bit.
Back on the old games.
Back on that.
Haven't played as many games though because it's just been so hot. Up here,
Yeah,
I haven't
it's-
really been. It's
can't
started.
really
It's started to
sit-
cool
can't
down a
really-
little bit now. In the last couple.
Can't really sit up here after you've been filming.
Yeah.
all day.
In the last couple of days, it's gotten a little bit better up here, that we can be up here for a little bit. What's the wackiest game we've ever played? I don't know. I kind of think of. I suppose they're not that wacky, but I think of things like Rush MD when you like fill in syringes with tweezers and stuff, and you're not allowed to pick up these things, and balancing doctors on the corners of beds and stuff. Maybe it's not that wacky. Oh, what was that game called? Mask of Moai,
That
which was like an
definitely a wacky
app,
game.
an app-based game. I don't think we ever did a video for it. So it was like a VR kind of game where you'd like hold the screen up and you would have to like look around at where these creatures were hiding in the. You were like in a hexagonal room and you could describe which corridors you could see. And so one person's looking at it and describing everything out to the people they're playing with, and everyone else is trying to scramble to build this this place that they can see from
And
one
build a
person's
little
perspective.
monster.
And yeah, you can see a little Moai, I think. Were they called Moais?
Something like that.
You could see a little monster in there, and so you would describe that to everyone as well. And you had a little tub of plasticine with the game, and you would need to try and replicate that as best you could as well. Yeah, that was really good. That's probably the wackiest game. Just great idea. Awkward Guest was an awesome stream. Thanks, Joel. I want to do another Awkward Guest stream now that it was pointed out in the comments like a fundamental thing that I was missing out on, that they can only start in certain rooms, and that, yeah, if I had remembered that, I would have known who was doing it. Because, like, another night, I played a load of solo games and did way better. Like, managed to finish the games with some points left until I turned the difficulty up, and then things fell over again. I think it re-implements Hera and Zeus. That's what were we looking at? Thunder and Lightning.
Yeah.
It re-implements Hera and Zeus, and it is the same designer. So it could be very, very similar. Oh yes, please. Thanks, Joel. Like a comment for us.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
For
yeah,
me and
for them.
Marty.
Have we played Ares? Is Ares Expedition the new card game version of it? I think it is, right? I don't know if that's come out in England yet. I know it's out in the States, right? And isn't it in, like, it's in Target or a big, like, supermarket, I think, as well. Like, I know there was a Kickstarter for it, but I know that it's, like, delivered there. Like, maybe it's delivered in England as well, but I don't think it's widely available, like, to distributors, to retail yet. Looking on BGG, the only copies in the geek market are American. So I can only assume it hasn't come out here yet. So I haven't tried it, but I would give it a go because yeah, it's like it's a faster, lighter version kind of thing. And I did enjoy kind of the gameplay, and the solo was pretty good of Terraforming Mars as well. We just didn't like the multiplayer very much because of mean things in it, right? Like some of these things are reaching back now. But yeah, there were things where you could destroy each other's hexes and things. Not into that. And the general theme of it, that I get it, that it's like competing corporate entities and stuff. But
I'd like to think the world would work together.
yeah.
When needed.
But yeah, I would like at some point I'll get my hands on it, and we'll have the return of Terraforming Mars solo in its Ares Expedition form. I don't keep track of game stats anymore. I used to keep track of them all the time on BG Stats. I say used to, now that's like 4 years ago. And I've still got the app, and every now and then I go back to try and make a real effort of doing it. Like I used to keep track of scores, of who you played with, all of that stuff. The last time I tried, which was probably a few months ago, I was just keeping track of, you know, the games and the dates that we played them, just so it would make it easier, like doing the lists at the end of the year and stuff. It would make it easier just having a great big list of all the games that I played. But yeah, it's just remembering to do all of that and having the will to keep up with it. It doesn't seem to stick anymore for some reason. I've still got it all of there, but I used to sync that with BGG. So I don't anymore, but I am sad that I don't. Mark, you're at 98 plays this month. Oh, I never tracked the streams and the filmings as well. So I'd be up a bit from some of those. 55 different ones. That's like more than us when we were at our peak. But yeah, I'm curious about Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. Hopefully, I'm sure sooner or later it's gonna come out. It's like it's got like simpler gameplay, but the solo version is very difficult. Okay. Oh yeah, we're way behind, aren't we? I'll try and catch up. Oh, get to the? I've forgotten the joke bit.
Get to
I remember
the
get to the chopper.
checkpoint.
Get to the checkpoint. So it was a BGG design contest. Oh, is it? Have they changed the name to avoid any funny business? Because it's probably like a trademarked phrase, right? I don't know if you can do that. But yeah, Ares Expedition's in Target and the Kickstarter's delivering now. If we were allowed, if things were a little bit more in control, and if we were allowed to travel to America, there's a good chance we probably would have gone in August. But yeah, it's, when I say looking unlikely, looking impossible that is ever going to happen. We're hoping to next year, so maybe there'll be something exciting. Hopefully we can go, and hopefully there'll be something exciting to find in Targets next year. Yeah, they did a mass retail release ahead of backers. Kickstarter's arriving today. Ooh, hope you enjoyed it. Oh, have you got the Monica? Have you got like the special? They did like a great big box of it, right, with all kind of 3D printed terrain and stuff. It looked really cool. Can you like? That's another thing as well. I like when we played Terraforming Mars, we only had the base game, right? And there's like five. I want to say like 5, 6 expansions have come out since then of varying shapes and sizes. So there's probably so much in it now that yeah, you could very easily take a load of that stuff out. I can't remember quite what we had, what we'd said about it all at the time. I'm trying to kind of remember back. I'm like, I don't like this weird like stance that I'm ending up in somehow. Oh, it's because my arm's off here doing the mouse, isn't it? So I'm leaning on this side and looking all wonky. It's Terraforming Mars Race for the Galaxy mashup. Oh, that's cool. I really like Race for the Galaxy. Need a account for Glass Marty to do scores against him. Yeah, I was gonna track. I think one of the runs I ended up like tracking some of the film things as well, but it's part of like the thing with the streams as well. Like after doing a stream, you have to do all of the thumbnail and get it on BGG and make it appear on the channel properly and all that stuff. But especially lately, especially after you've done like a stream for 2-3 hours in this room, just so like desperate to just get out of it for a little bit and cool down outside or something. That like yeah, that's part of forgetting to do anything with the app. I've been getting all the Marvel Champions expansions. I didn't really like. I don't think any of us really enjoyed Marvel Champions that much.
No.
The Arkham Horror. Marvel.
No, it's a shame.
Yeah, we've only played the base box, but yeah, we weren't that crazy. It was nice. There was nothing really bad about it. Did miss like the narrative part of Arkham. That's a good thing about Arkham, as much as things in Arkham Horror the card game really annoy me. It's got that going for it really well. So it's a shame to see that stripped out of Marvel Champions, even though it's its own thing, of course. That yeah, it just didn't excite us that much. And then when we played it with friends that really like Arkham Horror, they weren't that excited either about Marvel Champions. So we just kind of that kind of ended our run with that game. But maybe one day something again will happen that'll suddenly make me want to get it again. Like every now and then I think, oh, we should just get Legendary back again. But that's such a deep rabbit hole. We shouldn't. Have Marvel Champions, have we been taking, will I be taking a look at Beyond the Sun? I wanted to. I requested that at the time when it was on one of the release sheets. And it was out of stock. And I don't think has come back in stock with the distributor that sends review copies sometimes. So I think it's still waiting for that. I don't really know much about it, but at the time I had looked at it and thought it looked really cool and wanted to give it a go. So yeah, at some point I would like there to be a playthrough of that, but I still haven't got one for now. So maybe Rio Grande. I don't think they have kind of a UK contingent. It's like goes to Asmodee and then they handle all of that stuff. But yeah, maybe at some point there'll be something for it. Did I back? What's a game learning method? It's
read the rules.
Yeah, just read the rules out. Rach prefers it if she can see the rules. Not very good at having
I can't just
things
listen.
just explained to you. Whereas I used to, and part of this is having more time as well, and it was not having games first, right? So I used to get a game and I would watch Arado, a couple of other videos about them, try and get a really good sense of how to play, maybe even try a practice game first, and then have some kind of thing to teach Rach. Because there's like more and more things to learn, and because sometimes we get sent things and we're like, there's no videos yet, there's no questions on BGG yet about it. So we've gotten used to, at this point, we just kind of get the game out, just set it up and just start reading. Like there's no kind of like special method, I would say.
No, just read it.
Just go,
Read it, play it.
read it, and yeah, just have a try and just have a game where you just do stuff. Just go for it, and then loads of it'll click, and you'll realize how things are meant to be working when you try and do something and realize this doesn't make any sense, and realize yeah, you're doing it wrong. Or maybe the game is just broken, but that's rarely the case. Did I back Kokopelli? Oh, the Stefan Feld. That's the Stefan Feld Queen game, right? I didn't, but I'm hoping. There was like talk of us doing the new version of Macau. Was that Hamburg? But it never a prototype never managed to happen when they were on Kickstarter. But I don't think we've been in touch for a while. But as far as I know, then when they came out, I was going to be covering those ones, and I think Kokopelli was. It wasn't part of that series, but I think it was part of the when it's ready. We'll send those over. So hopefully, as far as I know, that will be happening at some point soon when they come out. Didn't go for that. Oh, you get special. Yeah, I've seen things on Etsy for they do amazing things for like Arkham Horror and Terraforming Mars and stuff. Playmat maps. Your tiles have custom made tubes to live in. Oh, nice. Gaming rules. Yeah, I watched Paul's videos long before I was making loads of this stuff. We saw him at the UK Games Expo, dressed in his top hat for Prodigal's Club. Watched his videos to learn Gloomhaven. I think that was just before. I can't remember if was I doing the channel? I think I was doing the channel by the time Gloomhaven came out.
Mm-hmm.
But not when Prodigal's Club came out. I think that was long before. But yeah, I used to watch all of that stuff and get all excited before the things would come out and try and get ready to know them before they did. But now sometimes things arrive before any of those videos are even made. Thanks, Janway. You are lucky. But yeah, that's what I did. I was really glad to have playthroughs about before I was making them, because that's the way I learned practically everything. There wasn't many games that I just went into, just open the rule like we do now. I don't think we rarely did that before, did we? That we would just like slowly and gradually read it all out. Yeah, I agree with JJ. Couldn't learn a game without YouTube. It's definitely like, I know that it's not the way we do it now, but it's definitely when I was just learning games, it was my preferred way of learning one by far. And like tutorials are great, and often watch just like rules videos as well, but playthroughs were the best thing for me. The way I'd get the best idea of whether I would like a game, but also whether they were accurate or not, the best way of like getting a feel for a game. So like if you'd watched a playthrough first and then read the rules, it was so much easier because you've already got a sense of how all of this stuff is going to work, or like maybe the structure of a round and stuff. I think playthroughs are the best thing. I think 3 roll or flip and writes you enjoy playing together. Oh, loads more than 3. So you've already had Hadrian's Wall. That's a flip and write.
One I always think of that we don't really mention a lot is Octodice.
Yeah, Octodice is
like
one of the best ones, and probably one of the first ones we ever played. So that's like it's 2016 Octodice now. Octodice is amazing. Quinto is amazing. And Hadrian's Wall is fantastic. Like it's always like one of those things that you think, is it just because it's so recent that it's sticking out in my mind so much? But yeah, they're 3 absolutely amazing ones. And that's without looking behind me that I realised.
The Zoo one the other day. That was good fun.
Yeah, Zoo Loretto, the dice game, is surprisingly fun. It's a little bit mean though. I'm sure we're forgetting loads of them are downstairs because we often take them with us. But yeah, like Knockmal, Dice Stars, Quicks is great,
Yeah,
but Quinto's just better.
3.
That maybe those 3.
Top 3, but
What? Yeah, it was just name 3. Okay then. Name 3 each. Did I back Harsh Shadows? I didn't. I don't remember hearing about it. Let's have a look. Shadows. A game of solo espionage? No, but it sounds cool. Oh, like a puzzle. Secret movement game? No, I hadn't seen that at all, but. Oh, no, it was only on Kickstarter a few months ago, and it's already delivered. Cool. I'll have to bookmark it. I'll open a tab and have a look at it afterwards. No, I haven't. I hadn't seen about that, but it sounds like I might be intrigued. So I'm going to put it down. Almost an hour in and no Sparks talk. There should just be Sparks talk,
I was
really.
going to say, didn't
you
you
know
know that there was going to be a separate Q&A
Yeah, if you want to just talk
about Sparks?
If you want to just talk about other things than board games, yeah, we went to see the Sparks Brothers yesterday. New Edgar Wright film. If you want to just see Edgar Wright films, but I love the band Sparks. If you watch when once we went off the board game topic, and I think it was Kickstarter backers back then. But anyway, patrons, whoever voted for top 10 albums, that's on the channel somewhere, where I talk about music for ages and talk about a lot of very popular bands and things I like by them. But then, like, Sparks are maybe an overlooked band, maybe one you know very well, but quite possibly a band you've never heard of. And so Edgar Wright, of all, Scott Pilgrim, Shaun of the Dead, all those amazing films, has directed a documentary now about Sparks. It's so good. It's amazing. It's a film made by someone who loves Sparks, full of people talking about them who also love them, and they happen to be celebrities and all of that stuff. But yeah, it's just like 2.25 hours of just gushing about an amazing band. It's great. Did you like it, Rach?
Yeah.
And Rach hates Sparks.
I do not. Liar.
You like Sparks. You're just newer to Sparks. What? Definitely newer to Sparks. I've been around since 2006, and even that's in the scope of Sparks. That's very recent, but they're great. Whether you will like the music. I don't care what kind of music you like. You'll like some of it. But yeah, they're just very funny people, very nice people, very strange people. It's a great film. Whether you go to the cinema or if you're in America, you can get it on streaming. It's just amazing. I would highly recommend it. The Sparks Brothers, brilliant. I've completely lost it. Where's Steve? There he is. The male playthrough videos are very helpful. Yes. Are you learning King's Abbey? Oh, I'm glad. Because that's one of the... I worry about those early playthroughs that are still up there. I think that's one of the ones I made in a rush when we very first went to America. And there was no one even watching. And then people started watching the videos while we were on holiday in America. I had to panic because I couldn't reply to comments and correct the videos. Three Sisters look good. I think there's some that won't show up in my Kickstarter history because I'm on group pledges for them. Three Sisters is one. I can't remember the others. Oh, the Eon's End Legacy 2. I can't remember is it Destruction of Gravehold, something like that? Like the end to this big story that's been going on across all of these games. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. A ranking of Garphill lineup. Well, Garphill, we are missing out all of the North Sea stuff still. And I think they've got a couple of games. So it's really out of the West Kingdom trilogy and Hadrian's Wall and Circadian's First Light. What do you think, Rach? You haven't played Circadians, have you? I've only played that solo, I think. Have you played all of the West Kingdom games now?
Yeah.
I think you have. We've only played Architect co-op because we wouldn't like it competitive. We've played... I don't think you've played co-op for the other two modes, have you? You've just played competitive for Paladins and Viscounts. And you've played Hadrian's Wall. What's your favourite out of them, Rach?
Hadrian's Wall.
And then what?
I don't remember the rest.
Well, Paladins we played not long ago, didn't we? Where you've got all of the... You have to all the on style. Put your meeples on your board and stuff.
Probably that one.
Or
Like
Viscount.
that.
Or Viscounts is the octagon board where you're going around in circles and recruiting the cars and stuff.
The bag one first. What wasn't it?
Paladins.
Paladins. Then the octagon.
And then Architects.
Could give or take architects, but we don't really know because we wouldn't play the.
Yeah, it's still cool in its co-op form, but it's that's on Kickstarter now, right? With a new expansion for Architects that adds more competitive stuff, but an entirely new solo mode as well. Because the solo mode is it's snappy and still really good, but there's a more involved solo mode coming in a new expansion for it. I'd kind of go. I think. I don't know. Hadrian's Wall is rocketing up there. But I wonder if it would still be like Viscounts and Paladins battling out at the top and Hadrian's Wall underneath. I don't know. It's all just some mixture of those three fighting between each other for the top spot. Architects definitely lower down, but I think Circadians it'd definitely be above Architects. I don't know that it would be above the other three though. So I think that would be my kind of ranking. Garfield, there we go. What do you have? Oh yeah, you tested it, didn't you, Monica? Yes, you were one of the prototype testers for Three Sisters. We'll get it eventually. There'll be some live playing, where everyone can play at the same time. Hey Patrick, it's about board games. Well, today it's about us talking, but generally it's about board games. It's about all of these. Which else? So you got the Fleet expansion. Fleet Dice is another one that I need to get to. I like Beat the Clock, fantastic
now
track.
We've all got Beat the Clock in our heads.
Some nice, well, it's not quite 80s, but Electro Sparks.
Beat the Clock, gotta beat the clock. That was playing, wasn't it? While we were waiting for it to start.
Yeah, that and like some of the plagiarism, some of the Faith No More collaborations. You got recent Sparks. Hello Young Lovers, old Sparks to come out of my house. So much Sparks to listen to. There's a great, just get it on Spotify if you've got it. Sparks Brothers playlist goes all through the career. Shuffle that, amazing music, and like meaningful music and funny music at the same time as well. It's crazy. Oh yeah, I think we've said before, like there's some similarity right between Fleet Dice Game and Three Sisters, or feeling anyway. But yeah, I still need to try and get hold of a copy of that. They'd run out the place I was going to get a copy of Fleet Dice Game from. One day though, I'm going to grab a copy. And yeah, I probably need to try the North Sea trilogy at some point. I haven't played Raiders of Scythia yet, or Scythia, but so I was kind of thinking if I was going to go for that, I would probably just go for the North. It's Raiders of the North Sea, right? But re-implemented and changed a bit. I would probably go for Raiders just because then I could get like one big trilogy and like play it together like that. Oh yeah, and in that ranking, the Age of Artisans expansion is included in Architects already, which definitely makes it better, but still keeps it in that bottom place. But bottom place is still very, very good. There's a new West Kingdom expansion on Kickstarter right now, which is so tempting. And I don't know if it'd probably get delivered faster if I pre-ordered. Like I missed the Paladins expansion and the Paladins bigger box. I really like that. And there's like this Architects expansion's got a bigger box as well. It does I do like that they fit on this little shelf and that some of the boxes are crammed full with stuff. So it would be a shame for them to be bigger boxes, but then they get nice inserts and stuff as well. I'd really like to get them. But yeah, I'd like to try all of the North Sea things at some point. Architects and big box, yeah. Oh, and a playmat, yeah. Absolutely lovely having the playmats. Works of Wonder is what it's called. The new Kickstarter for it. Thoughts on Cosmic Encounter? We've never played it, and I think it's probably one. I feel like it was dismissed on the grounds of needing more than 2 players, and although now that's not as much of an issue, and would be kind of I think like a load of negotiation would be involved, or fighting between the players. It's kind of vague now because I looked into it so long ago, but that's I think that's why it was checked off the list at the time. Played North. Oh yeah, and there's the Runes. There's the Tome Saga that I've done the co-op playthroughs of all of the West Kingdom games now. North Sea Trilogy is the same. That it's got that Rune Saga that tie all of the games together as well. I really like that idea of doing things. They're in the same world anyway, but I like that you can play them as a big campaign and they all get linked together and nicely. Yeah, Viscounts is hopefully going to get more stuff and a nice big box. It would have to, right? You can't just have 2 big boxes and leave the last one off on its own. Could tell you some of our favourite older movies, say before 2000. Wild Wild West, 1999. Love Wild Wild West, right? I don't think anyone could say that's their favourite film.
But you enjoy it.
I really enjoy it.
I don't know.
Terminator 2.
Before I was 10.
Yeah. I think I just watched like comedy films and
things were out.
I watched comedy films and action films seemingly when I was little.
Shrek. That's 2001.
Yeah, you can't have Shrek.
Can't have Shrek.
So I still would stand by things like Terminator 2, Die Hard 1, just amazing films.
Mentioning Harry Potter.
Uncle Buck, so good. Harry Potter.
That's way after.
It's 2000, I think.
The book for that.
First Harry Potter is 2000, I think. The film. I think everything that we're watching is like old films at the moment, isn't it? Or that we have watched lately. I can't think of any beyond that now.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. We're just playing like
Back to the Future.
like classic films.
Back to
But
the
yeah,
Future.
I'd say
You said that.
the majority of things that, especially that we've been watching maybe in the last year or so, are old films.
Because you like old films.
Yeah, they're so good though, and just can't imagine sitting through some of these as good as
When was Groundhog Day?
1994
There
Groundhog
we go.
Day. Groundhog Day, like possibly like a perfect film, but like Die Hard for like its cheesy bits and whatever as an action film, it's like perfect. It's so perfectly paced. It's brilliant.
Alien. When was that?
70s.
So that, come on, that's got to be on there. Number 1. Is that number 1?
Number 1 or
Alien.
4. Oh, it was the first film, yeah. Alien number 1 and then Aliens. We don't. Have you seen Aliens? Have you seen
Yeah.
them before? Because Aliens is very different.
I've seen it recently, but I would have watched it.
Suddenly, yeah, like actiony. I think Uncle Buck. I haven't seen Memphis Belle. Uncle Buck was excellent. John Candy is just amazing. He was in some bad films or low budget films, but when the films hit off, they hit off so well. He's just amazing. Hi Harry from Vancouver. How's it going? The emphasis on story in older movies. Yeah, they've got more time as well. Like sometimes like the pace of them is great, but they've got like, I don't know, they seem to have enough time for everything to breathe, and the films aren't like crazy long. Like I really enjoyed Marvel films. I went to see loads of them, but definitely like
Too
around like the Avengers films and stuff. Like I haven't seen like recent ones. I haven't seen Endgame and all of that kind of stuff. I think probably the second Avengers was the last one I might have seen.
Yeah, because that's when there was.
I saw the Ant-Mans. The
There's
Ant-Mans
like
are brilliant.
2 or 3 major battles, and then like
Yeah,
20
I'm
to
not.
40 minutes between them of nothing.
Yeah,
and
I'm not
another
into.
battle.
I'm not into the big CGI fights for ages and ages. It really bored me. Like,
We went to see that in the cinema.
yeah, that's maybe like that was maybe the big turn off of it. But like, I've been that way about a lot of things as well. Like, I think there are many other problems with things like the Transformers films, but that's one of them as well. That's like I don't care about these big silly fights and the robots fighting and stuff. I'm not really bothered. Whereas like Terminator was a robot that was fighting.
Did you
You
say
cared about him.
RoboCop?
Yeah, RoboCop, another one that might just be perfect. And another one where the remake of it just completely missed the point of what RoboCop was about.
It's Batman.
Batman. It's about Peter Weller. That's what the remake missed out. They didn't get Peter Weller back. They should have learned the lesson from RoboCop 3. That didn't have Peter Weller in it, and it was rubbish.
When was The Matrix? Was that 2000?
I think Matrix was 99.
Oh, there we go. Can have that as well.
Yeah, got to have
Classic.
Matrix 1. But I always liked, like, I was younger, so I was like 12, I think, when Matrix came out. Or was Matrix 98?
I don't know.
No, I think it's 99. Because, like, there's Matrix 2 and 3 were like 2002, 2003.
99.
Yeah, and then I think Reloaded is 2002, and Revolution is 2003.
I'm going to say Blade was one of my favourite films when I was younger, and that was in 98, so I'm counting that one.
Yeah.
Blade 1.
It is scary looking up some of these things and seeing how long ago they were. But I want to. Oh, we saw, didn't we, when we watched Speed last week, which I wouldn't
Yeah.
put down as one of the best pre-2000 films. It's good. It's thing, isn't it? Popcorn film. It's just you get what you get, don't you? It's well done. It's
Yeah.
all right. It's good. It's very
It's a
watchable.
bus that can't stop. What more?
The
what
bus
more
that
can you
couldn't
say?
slow down. But then Rachel's never seen Demolition Man. Also one I wouldn't put down as like a really,
I thought
really
we'd
amazing
seen that,
film.
but I think
but-
I'm thinking of The Running Man.
there's some such strange things about Demolition Man that I think it's definitely worth a watch. But that's the kind of thing that I would have. I would have all of these videos of all the Arnold Schwarzenegger films and stuff when I was little. And
Jingle
that's
All
what
the
I
Way,
would
when was that?
rewatch. Jingle All the Way, that's like is that like 96?
When was Home Alone?
Name all the Christmas films.
Yeah.
Home Alone is like 1990,
Quality,
91.
quality films. Watch them anytime of the year.
What about Wayne's World though?
No.
That was early 90s. Rich didn't. I don't know what I would think about Wayne's World if I watched it for the first time now. But I watched it when I was like a child essentially. So I absolutely love Wayne's World. And I think it stands up. Rach, not on board at all. I like the film Q&A. I know there's only one question, but let's have the rest of the stream just be about films. I don't think I've ever seen Lethal Weapon.
Maybe we'll add it to the list. I don't think I've seen much with Mel Gibson.
But I
in.
wonder if, like, now I think the problem would be that your perception of, I don't know about yours, Rach, but my perception of Mel Gibson would be like,
I don't know. I don't know much about him. Luckily for me, probably.
look him up.
I don't
It's
want
not,
to.
it's not good.
I'll stay innocent.
So I wonder if now I would just be thinking about that all the time. Yeah, like old films that like it's an idea. Like it's based. All the ideas are probably like based on things that have come before, and like you can't have things that are truly
You
original.
don't really get
But-
B movies anymore either. I watch
No.
B movies.
But when like Groundhog Day is an idea. Like somebody had an actual idea and made something and wrote something based on it. It wasn't like let's remake this thing, let's do another one of this. It's like here is original idea and let's take a chance on making the thing. And it just turned out that it was amazing. I don't think it happens as much now. But somehow they got the money to make a film about Sparks, so anything is possible. I'm going to collaborate with Ricky. I've never done anything with Ricky. We are internet friends and stuff, and I've watched plenty of his videos. It's his video series that made Mage Knight finally click, and I've done videos for his Renegade as well. But there's no like plans, but there's no plans not to either. Like I hope that I'd do something with Ricky one day. I don't know what. We could do something cool, and I'm sure.
Should do a Mage
This-
Night with him.
I just feel like
He'll stop.
yeah, he would. And I feel like in terms of time, like multiplayer Mage Knight terrifies me for like a live stream. But Paul, yeah, we did Gloomhaven Digital. That was probably a few weeks ago now though. I feel like it wasn't that long ago, but it probably is. Yeah, we'll Paul and I'll always do stuff. We do it every now and again. And I need to get back to doing like I haven't done a Mage Knight for ages. It's like 3 months now. And I was gonna keep to it. It's just time. Time for keeping all of this stuff together. Yeah, it's surprising how often remakes miss the point of what made the original special, and that it usually wasn't like it's not the fact that he was a robot cop, and like it's not the fact that he was fighting big robots and stuff. They were cool things about
It's the
RoboCop,
revenge film, isn't
but
it? Or something like that.
and it's all like sci-fi questions
Yeah.
about like what does it mean to be human. Like he still vaguely remembers who he used to be, and that's trying to be programmed out of him and stuff, and they're trying to just make him obey these rules and not shoot the corporate people. And then there's a whole like thing that director does that is like a satire of like consumerism and how powerful corporations were getting, but it was made like 40 years ago. So good. And then the remake kind of strips loads of that out, and it's just unrealistic CGI robot versus robot action. You know, like the first one, which Matrix is that. But yeah, I think I was saying like I was like 14 or something when the second Matrix came out. I really enjoyed it. I don't know that I've watched it very recently, and they're definitely not a patch on the first one, but I quite liked them. I have seen Red Dwarf. I haven't seen all of them. I watched it not too long ago, I think last year, to kind of freshen up. I used to have the tapes of them. They're something I watched loads when I was like a teenager, probably. But yeah, I watched some of the more recent ones that I hadn't seen any of the stuff that they've made since it came back, like all that stuff they've made on Dave, the Back to Earth and stuff. And yeah, I wouldn't say it's as good as like the golden days, but it was still cool ideas, and everyone's back together. The Martian Passengers, you're having stuff post 2000, Joel. I want to watch Rear Window. Haven't seen that. No Top Gun love. I've never seen Top Gun. I wonder if that would be a thing now as well. That partly being, I don't know about Tom Cruise, but I wonder how some of these cheesy 80s films would be seeing them for the first time now without nostalgia. Am I going to do first impressions on Warhammer? Probably not. I haven't played Warhammer for like I know it's been like with those things that you mentioned, and there's like is it Black Fortress for 40k? They have been revamped, haven't they, and revitalized and stuff. We tend not to play anything where we're fighting against each other, and I think unless Games Workshop suddenly took some kind of big interest in me, it would be too big a financial commitment to even like dip a toe into something like Warhammer. But I used to play a fair bit of Warhammer Fantasy. I've still got some of it. I've still got my Lizard Men army. Still got my skinks.
I'll just get
Still got my painted
now.
lizard men.
They're too old.
I think the figures are still it. They just have completely different rules now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all about remakes and stuff now. And like, yeah, it's like that in everything. It's like that for video games and stuff as well. Unless you get people that unless you get like independent games that manage to get enough money to actually make something that can actually make their own idea. Generally, big companies are not really interested in trying anything new because it was always like a financial gamble. And like, say, movie companies that were big in, say, the 80s ended up gambling on the wrong things and collapsing, that made like really big film franchises, made one gamble too many on bad things and went out of business. But it was all kind of assumed, and like for, say, like music companies as well, that's part of the risk of it, that it might not be great. You hope that it does well, but it might not. But these days it seems that there's no risk involved in any of it. Luckily, there's still plenty of variety and risks taken in board games, right? I think it would be lovely hanging out with Ricky and playing Mage Knight, but I agree with Rich that he would decimate me at Mage Knight. Playing like competitively for sure. A co-op would be interesting, but I think it would probably take a long time as well. Favorite space sci-fi movies? Which I like, Rach. Wild Wild West sci-fi.
Is it?
Sure. Why not? Event Horizon.
Okay, my favourite space movie is Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet.
Take that. Yeah, it's set in space. It's Treasure Island, but in space.
Is
What
it?
more could you ask for? Yeah. Haven't seen it. Rubbish. No, I don't know.
We didn't. I don't. Well, when is that? When did that
Ghostbusters
come out?
Probably like. Just thinking of like, I don't know. I just can't think of a lot of space films that aren't like spooky.
I don't know that I've seen any like. Just thinking back to when we used to just watch tons and tons of films. That it's that kind of stuff. It's that kind of sci-fi. That
Yeah, I'm sure
kind
we've
of
seen loads of sci-fi.
broken
but
future stuff and like. But loads of them were watched specifically because, like, they would be like videotapes seen at car boots and things.
Treasure
So
Planet,
like,
2002.
Tom likes Arnold Schwarzenegger. The videotape has got him in it, so get that. So like, we'd watch loads of good things. Like Total Recall is great sci-fi, but I'd also watch Hercules in New York. That's not a great film, but he's in it. He's Hercules. He's in New York. Red Dwarf. As a kid, teenager. Because I think
I think like.
Red
sorry.
Dwarf was already like off the telly when I was watching it.
I was just gonna say that probably a lot of sci-fi that we've seen isn't movies. Like I've watched all the Stargate, Battlestar Galactica, but they're all series.
Battlestar's amazing.
Sci-fi is better in series.
Any countries you really want to visit once the world opens up properly? I don't really go to that many places. There's a lot of places that I'd like vaguely like to go, but kind of practically and what I'd want to go to the most, even though we've been there twice before, I really want to go to Florida again. But I'm kind of more like that I'll find something that I really like and I'll just keep doing that forever. Unless I have to do something else. I'd really like to go to New Zealand, but the kind of cost of going there and the time to fly there and stuff all kind of weighs in.
Why would you want to go there?
Why not?
You
It
guys
sounds
said
really
that
cool.
before. I'd
But-
like to go to Italy. Been to lots of places.
Is that
I'm saying
because
lots of places.
is
not
that
lots
because
of
we're
places.
watching The Sopranos now?
No, I always thought that. I've been to Spain. I've been to Portugal. I've been to Malta. Been to Spain loads of times.
Oh, I've lost it again. Oh yeah. We could do like a board game ramblings crossover at some point. They're doing the really cool like. Did I show you it when they started doing it? They're doing the Keep and Cull. They're playing through all of their collection this year, and like deciding whether to keep or get rid of everything. Like it would be. I would love to do that to kind of thin out everything. And we have been playing a few old things to kind of realize, do we like
Yeah, but
this
then
anymore?
a few of the things that we've played, like one of them, we was like, no, I don't like this anymore. That's Brussels. But then the other things that we have played, we're like, yeah, I won't keep this.
Yeah.
It's not really worked out.
No, we haven't found that much Cull. Harry, out of all the board game YouTubers, it's Rado that influenced me the most because, like, his focus was on two-player things mainly, and that's what we were at the time. Like, 99% of what we were playing was just two-player, and I don't think we were, you know, like as Care Bear gamers then, because we had things like Small World, even though I didn't really like it. That like I didn't realize that there was like this whole like section of games that like it's Euro games in general often don't have kind of the direct conflict and stuff. Plenty do, but there is like there's plenty for you if you just want to cut that out of games that you play. Like you'll miss out on some games that people really like, but in general, there are like still hundreds and hundreds of games constantly coming out that don't involve any of that stuff. And as I said, I love the playthroughs, so that was my entryway into getting tons and tons of games. And like, even I don't think you'll ever find someone to watch that you will always align with, but we often like ended up agreeing on games. Yeah, like things will always make money just because people go and see it because of the name that is on it. Like I hope the new Ghostbusters thing will be good. I want to try this one. It's got Paul Rudd in it. It's gotta be good. It's Mike from Friends. He's that guy from Clueless. What?
Ant-Man.
What?
You want to say things
Mike.
people might know?
Mike Hannigan from Friends.
No one's gonna know that.
He's in loads of it. He's in almost every
Love You,
episode
Man
in the
is
last two
in.
seasons. What's that?
See it? Where he's like
Yeah.
slapping the bass.
Yeah, it's called I Love You Man. I Love You Man is an amazing film as well. It's not made before
That's what I
2000,
said. I said I love you, man.
but I Love You Man is brilliant. Not just because it's got Rush in it. It's a film with Rush. Where Rush is like a pretty major, I don't know, like plot point, but apart from it, I have not heard of Mighty Powers Alfie. What's that? The games from your childhood that you remember fondly. We were looking at something the other day, weren't we? I can't remember what we were looking at. I have kept some. You can't quite see them on the... You should be able to see them on the camera, but what if I do this? You can see the few that I've kept kind of on the left there. There's Supermarket Sweep that I did a playthrough for. There's my old Star Wars trilogy Monopoly. Hopefully never play that again. My old Simpsons 3D chess. There's like a Game of Life. I think that was a little bit older. It's like got credit cards and stuff and a little digital thing. But I don't have anymore because shenanigans happened in a house move. Well, not shenanigans, just mistake. Crystal Maze was an amazing board game. It's an amazing quiz show when I was little. Not a quiz show, like a game show. Contestants would run through and have to do all of these crazy tasks. It's brilliant. There's probably plenty on YouTube. Watch the ones when Richard O'Brien hosted. Richard Ayoade, fantastic in his own way, but the old version when I was little, amazing. And they made a board game out of that kind of tried to replicate the things. It had a little like physical catapult and like little marble games and stuff, and it had the crystal dome where you'd have to shake the credits and stuff out. That's probably the thing I remember fondest. Sri Lanka is awesome and not that far away. Like, I haven't really been anywhere as well. Like, I haven't really, like, when I say like France and Spain, I've been to Carcassonne, not because of the board game. It's just where we went. Before that, the board game probably existed, but we didn't know it existed. And I went to Barcelona with school. I've been to Germany for Essen, and I've been to Florida with Rach. I think that is all of the countries. Technically, we've been through Belgium when we
Been to
drove.
Scotland.
Have you ever been to
Count
Scotland? Well, they could be independent very soon. Could be a separate country. Well, it is still a separate
Well, it is
country.
a country.
Yeah, it's a separate country still.
I've been to Wales.
I've lost. Yeah, been to Wales. Been to real plenty of times. But I just like we went to Florida like for a first holiday, and then we went a couple of years ago, like on our own this time, and it was even better than the first time. And like it's really like it's probably not, it's not so much like Florida in general, like we're doing touristy things around there, although we did travel a little bit. Generally love theme parks, love Universal, love hanging around all of that place, love the climate and the crazy weather in Florida. It's just amazing. I really hope we can go back one day. Is everyone watching The Sopranos at the moment? We started watching it when we were in Florida, in the brief windows where like we needed a rest because running around all the time. We started watching The Sopranos because Rach had never seen it, and I watched it ages ago. It's amazing. There is like, I don't think it's out soon, is it? It's like isn't it a prequel series where it's young Tony Soprano, I think?
Maybe that's why people are watching it.
Maybe that's sooner than we think.
We're near the end now, aren't
No
we?
spoilers, please. Rach doesn't know the end.
We're near the end. We're on the last season.
Yeah. We're nearly finished.
6 episodes left.
Do we have game-related locations we'd like to travel to? I'd like to see... Is it Murano or Burano? I think, isn't it Burano that's got all of the lovely, like, colourful buildings and stuff? And, like, the cover of the game Murano is actually the place Burano, I think. There's some kind of confusion like that. But with the game Burano with the great cubes and stuff. I think I've done it. Did I do a video for that? Maybe I've never done one. Yeah, Burano is a great game, and I think that's the actual place with the colourful stuff, right? I think that would be one based on games that springs to mind. I remember Carcassonne being quite nice. It's got a nice castle.
Let's go to space
Space.
and play Among the Stars.
Istra Peninsula is very nice. Oh, you watched?
Place in
Oh,
Croatia.
okay. It's Pirates of the Caribbean in an ancient amphitheatre. Oh, lovely.
Peaky Blinders. I haven't seen Peaky Blinders. You haven't seen that.
No, I
have
haven't
you?
seen Peaky
I've
Blinders.
started watching episode 1 and then I don't know. I just didn't carry on. I've heard lots of other things.
Playing Feast Roden in Norway or Sweden would be cool. Going to Nusfjord to play Nusfjord. This should be something that some kind of major TV network funds us to do. And just travel to all of these places. Just play that board game and then leave. Don't do anything else there. Favorite PC video games? I've lost that. There it is. Rach, what are your favourite PC video games? You love Final Fantasy games?
All Final Fantasies.
Deadly
Kingdom-
Premonition
Kingdom
number 1.
Hearts is
Deadly Premonition number 1 is one of the best games that there has ever been. The Beatles Rock Band is a perfect video game. It depends on how much you like music games and the Beatles. But no, forget that. It doesn't matter how much you like the Beatles because you will like the Beatles after you've played it. It's perfect.
Play lots of little random things, but not. What's it?
I always
Favorite?
like finding things out.
Yeah, they're not favourite things. Little things on Steam.
You like simulator kind of games,
Simulators.
don't you know, these
Yeah.
days?
Just nice and relaxing. Not much to think about after work.
Yeah, we're not as and like there's kind of less interest in it and more interest in board games, but also the fact that, like I was saying before, that video games are in a similar state as films, that the massive companies don't really make anything any different. So like say 10 years ago when I was working in a game shop and stuff and really into all of the stuff that was coming out, I don't think very much positive has changed in those last 10 years for how video games happen and the kind of things that they make. Things slip through, definitely, but I think
A lot of it's just like, oh, let's play another Assassin's Creed. Let's play another Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like, not interested.
because there'll be like people that just buy based on that. Board games based on Scotland: Clans of Caledonia, Glasgow, the two that I can think of. It's Conway in Wales. I haven't been. Am I pronouncing that wrong? Been to Rhyl and Llandudno. They're both in North Wales, though. I don't think we've been to anywhere in Wales other than that. Her proper game was Hero Quest. I think I've got Hero Quest as well. That's in a different room. But I don't know if we ever played it properly. I did later when I had a friend who also had it from when he was little. But I used to get like loads of games from car boot sales and stuff that didn't always have the rules, or I didn't always read the rules, and just used to make games up. But Hero Quest is a great like introduction into dungeon crawly kind of things. Oh yeah, Isle of Skye, another one. I think The Sopranos really holds up. It's fantastic. It's amazing. Like it deserves all of the kind of hyperbole that it's gotten over all of these years, even for something that is like, I probably watched it for the first time like 12 years ago, something like that, maybe a bit longer, and it was absolutely fantastic then. Even all this time later, blown away by how good it is, how good the characters are, how good the actors are in it, and like how everything's built up and strung along over the seasons. It's just done perfectly. Yeah, Paul Rudd is brilliant. We keep going back and watching these. Part of it's because Rach hasn't seen or doesn't remember a lot of things.
Do have bad memory.
But and it's because like I don't know, a lot of like there was a brief time like when they'd very first started making things that it was like it was a seal of approval that it was like a Netflix original series. They had a track record of amazing things. Now, there are definitely exceptions to that, but generally, a Netflix original series kind of means that I'm not interested in that thing. It's probably not going to be very good. With exceptions, but generally, it now seems more like they're in like a similar situation that they just want to farm things out, get it to a couple of seasons, get rid of it. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? But I think that the ones that they really made that hit big were kind of accidents. Like even like say House of Cards was like generated
Orange is the New Black
statistically.
was
Like
was
wasn't House of Cards generated that well people really like political things and they like or liked Kevin Spacey. Another one. We've had him and we've had Mel Gibson in the same stream. So like yeah, I don't think that was like an idea that someone organically came up with. I think it was statistically generated and it just happened to be that like they made a cool thing out of it. Yeah, that still like seems crazy that Rado made Siphon Filter that I really enjoyed, but I think we probably had like we got it from the video shop or we had demos of it, so we played a lot of it, but I don't feel like we progressed. That's why I feel like we had it as a demo disc and would definitely like taser people plenty until they set on fire. But we're maybe like too young to retain the story and stuff. Whereas Fable 2 that he was involved in and was actually like the lead developer of, right? Absolutely loved Fable 2. That's more of the thing that I've gone on and on about Fable 2 to him when we've met him. And I wanted to. We've never got that far in it, but I really want Rach to play Fable 2 because there are things in it.
We've tried twice.
Yeah, it's just time, isn't it?
Yeah, but things like that as well. I just want to do everything.
We have like. So I used to play some games with like my little brother, who isn't as much of a kid anymore. He's a teenager now. We play some games with him, but generally now. We have friends that have. Well, we are friends with a friend's 3-year-old daughter.
Room.
Yeah, there it is. With Ellen, who has got an impressive game collection in her own right, and is always keen to show us one of her games. So yeah, we've ended up playing a fair few like Harbour games.
My First Orchard.
Yeah, My First Orchard's great. There's like a collection there's like a big compendium of loads and loads of games. What is it called? Hedgehog Roll or something?
Yeah.
The one that we got. Like it's looking through like the Kennerspiel winners. Oh, she got
Dragon
that dragon. I can't remember what it's called, but yes, there's like a load of rubber rings and crystals inside, and you're trying to bet on which crystal will fall out the most. Yeah, like really inventive. Like they obviously have to be very light and very simple games, but it's
You can
it's
see
really
little elements and stuff like set collection and
you can
that
see
kind of thing.
yeah you can see how things are being like seeds are being planted for more complex things later as well. It's really cool playing the kids ones. I want to say Harbour. It's not just Harbour games, but they make amazing ones. We went through some earlier Harry, but I think like Role Player Adventures I'm really keen on. Seize the Bean I'm really excited about getting off Kickstarter. Paperback Adventures, more Thunderstone Quest stuff. Some great things on the way, I think. Oh yeah, Paul Rudd in Role Models. I don't think I've seen that since it came out. I wonder if it's still like that. Breaking Bad, yes, it's one of the. I haven't rewatched Breaking Bad since it was on. Probably rewatched like the early series, but I don't think I've seen any Breaking Bad since the finale was on. Breaking Bad's one of the things that ruined other things, that made me short on patience for trying new things, because Breaking Bad is too good. Do you like Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah.
I'm rewatching Dexter. Yeah, the trailers for the new season do make me want to watch it. Even though, like, yeah, Dexter went through such a, I say slump, it never came back up. Like
Still loved it though. Still-
You can't beat that Trinity season though. It's too good. John Lithgow, the way he says certain words though, it repeats. It's too good. Remember computer game moving where you had a robot moving around and got tasks? Or is it like a adventure game? Rach, well, we're gonna have to go pretty soon because we need to be at a performance for
in 15 minutes.
the brother that I
It's
mentioned.
gonna
Oh yeah,
take
we're gonna have to
15
go
minutes
really
to
quick.
get there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be really quick now. Rach, to finish us off, what's your least favourite end of term gift you've ever had?
There is no least favourite.
There's no least favourite.
You can't say
Oh,
that.
oh, come on, you can
I
say
appreciate all gifts.
a class that
but
was.
They don't have to get me a gift.
Okay, tell us privately though. Yeah, that I didn't watch like all of those later series of Dexter's, but I know what the ending was, and it is crazy.
Right.
I still haven't seen that Breaking Bad movie either.
Come on.
I haven't seen that. I've seen the film. I've seen the series, and we've watched all of Better Call Saul, which at times that's another thing that I'd want to like go back and watch Breaking Bad again, because there's times where I think Better Call Saul feels even better than Breaking Bad was. But yes, we do really need to go.
Stop talking.
Thank you very, very much for being here. We will do another one. We're going to try and not wait till the end of August to do another one. And now that Rich is free from school for a little bit, we hopefully
You might see
might do
me in
one
a
later.
video.
Might see her in a playthrough or two. We'll see. Thank you very much for being here, though, everyone. Thanks for putting up with the technical difficulties. And we're going to rush off and see Annie, apparently.